Hello YouTube, this is Frugal and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Sunday, September the 25th, 2016. First up, Prepared 3.4 released. Now as always I don't normally cover updates. Prepared ones, however, usually ruin our day temporarily, so I thought I would cover this after all. As always, the update does bring with it some incompatibilities, so you might want to hold off until your favorite aircraft is confirmed as being okay. With this update, the cool thing is you can update just the client this time around, so you don't need to uninstall and reinstall everything, which is nice. 3.4 brings with it Oculus and HTC Vive support, so virtual reality support. These also added new VR views in the aircraft, and Lockheed have exposed an API to let developers add their own VR views as well. That looks pretty promising for the future. They've also added a new video streaming interface, which I don't think is for live streams, it's more for recording footage, but I'm not sure, and also a new cinematographer mode allowing unrestricted camera control, handy for us YouTubers. Much more to it as well than that, but those are the highlights for me at least. More news at the Prepared website that you've been looking at right here. Zero cost upgrade if you already have a license for Prepared version 3. Next up, the One GNS 430 and 530. Now, following the success of Flight One's GTN series of gauges, Flight One have released their new GNS 430 and 530 gauges. These are completely accurate simulations of the real-world GNS 430 and 530 units. The displays actually run their own process outside of FSX and Prepared, so there is no impact on memory usage and hopefully no impact on performance as well. There is full support for all modes of the actual GPS units, including terrain awareness, WAAS, route planning, and so on. Full database of VORs, NDBs, airspace restrictions, and everything else you would expect from the real GNS 430 and 530 GPS. There's also a config tool to set them up and add them to any aircraft, a tool that can also spot if you're already using Reality XP gauges and replace them, which I think is a little bit sneaky, but oh well. Pricing is a little odd. Just as with the GTN series, each gauge is a separate purchase, as is each sim. So on FSX, each one of these two gauges, the 430 or the 530, is $49.95 each. If you want to get them running on Prepared, then you're going to need to spend $69.95 for each gauge. So obviously if you want to run all gauges, both gauges on both sims, that's 2 times $49.95 and 2 times $69.95. I was actually really skeptical of Flight One's entry into this space with the GTN series, but I do absolutely adore them now, and I can't bear to be without them. So hopefully the GNS series are to the same level of awesome as the GTN series. Next up, Becks Germany North. This is the latest region in Becks Regions line, and it covers 70,563 square miles of scenery, most of it actually very densely populated because Germany. Highly realistic in that you do get to see a notable difference out of the window between East and West Germany. It also includes a highly detailed Berlin, Hamburg, Lübeck, and a few other cities as well. The scenery features hand-placed land classes throughout to ensure everything you see is completely accurate. Also 90,000 individually placed powerline pylons. I imagine somebody wasn't too happy with that job, which is why it got called out on the press releases. This is a key thing. It also upgrades 386 German airports, which is beyond cool, and features hundreds and hundreds of custom points of interest for the VFR pilots, including dams, wind farms, lighthouses, and so on. The price for Becks Germany North is just $41.46, and that covers all versions of FSX and Prepared. Utterly amazing the amount of stuff the guys and girls at Becks managed to cram into their scenery. Incredible stuff. Next up, Turbulent Designs Big Bear. Lima 35 Big Bear City Airport in San Bernardino County, Southern California is the latest airport from Turbulent Designs. It's a large GA airport at an altitude of 6,700 feet, featuring a single runway nestled in the mountains. Looking at Turbulent Designs screenshots and information on their website, it does really have an incredible level of attention to detail with accurate buildings, textures, runway, and taxiway markings. The scenery is at a resolution of 30 centimeters per pixel, and it also works with both FSX and Prepared, and is a paltry £16 65 pence. Next up, the Carenado Dawnia Do 228 was released. Now, I previewed this a while ago and it's now released, and I did miss it at the release, so here we go. It features a full simulation of the start-lock system in that aircraft, as well as the TPE 331-5 engines and full cold and dark startup. It comes with Carenado's own GNS 530, but you can plug in either the Flight 1 GTN 750 or the Reality XP GNS 530. No idea about the new Flight 1 GNS displays. I expect there would probably be an update fairly soon to support them as well. The aircraft features 4K resolution textures, dynamic prop shine effect in addition to Carenado's usual volumetric side prop effect, and it has been tested by real pilots, but Carenado don't say if they are actually real DO228 pilots or just pilots. And Carenado do, however, claim realistic behavior and reaction of the aircraft to weight and balance as a result of all this testing and hard work. It also comes with the usual array of Carenado PDF documents for checklists, FMS references, since this includes the Dawnia Do228 FMS, checklists, and so on. The price is $39.95 for FSX and prepared. Expect an X-Plane version probably in a few months' time. Now, next up, this one actually surprised me. It came out of nowhere. FSFX Packages, who continue to have the best company name in the business, have announced Chaseplane. EasyDock is my go-to camera utility for FSX and Prepare, but it's not getting much in way of support from the developer, so FSFX Packages decided to step in and fill that void, and Chaseplane looks absolutely amazing. It has a beautiful UI to set up and manage cameras. You can set any aspect of a camera, including its motion and motion effects, and those motion effects can react as well to what the aircraft in the sim is actually doing, so they're not just random effects. The product is also going to have a cinematic mode that just sweeps the camera dramatically around without any user help. Great for cutscenes, great for stepping away on a live stream. The views that you can create are created per aircraft and saved to FSFX Packages cloud servers as well. Now, it's not out yet, it's just an announcement that they made. It is due to release next year. The guys, however, did host a 30-minute live stream showing off everything in the product. That live stream is linked in the video notes below. Fast forward to 14 minutes 45 seconds into the video to see the actual announcement and more information about this. Next up, a sim I've not covered on the new show, IL-2 Sturmovik Stalingrad. The developers have just announced Battle of Kuban, Kuban, pre-order. Now, this is the latest update for IL-2 Sturmovik Stalingrad, and if you pre-order it, you're going to get early access to the Battle of Kuban in December of this year. It features new aircraft, including the A-20, the Spitfire, yay, and the Duck, and it also, of course, features the Cuban map, Kuban map, 300 by 400 kilometers square, and that includes seaports, towns, mountains, seas, and forests. Also includes new warships, including destroyers, cargo ships, submarines, and torpedo boats. New land units. It's going to come with full virtual reality support, which is beyond awesome, a scripted campaign, co-op multiplayer mode, plus tons of other changes and optimizations to the existing sim engine. More information at the il2sturmovik.com link in the show notes below. Moving over to X-Plane now. AW designs Pisco International, or Sierra Papa Sierra Oscar for X-Plane, released. This is a recreation of Pisco International in Peru, which is the main airport for most of the flights to Lima. It's also the area's main training hub as well. The scenery features custom ground textures, orthophoto-based scenery for the surrounding area, South American-styled autogen for the nearby town of Pisco. It is apparently also frame rate friendly and features accurate local static aircraft as well as a custom terrain mesh as well. Total price is $17.17 from the xplane.org store, linked in the show notes below. And the final story this week, also with X-Plane, Shade Tree Micro Aviation, or SDMA's Beechcraft AT-11 Kansan. This is a classic World War II era twin-engine multi-role aircraft, and it's been modelled by Camsin. It's an upgrade of actually SDMA's existing D-18S twin Beech, and there are two models included with this, the Bomber and the Navigator. Now, the Bomber model has a fully functioning gun and bombardier station. The Navigator model has an Astrodome and a Navigator station. The aircraft was built apparently from accurate data on the original aircraft, features fully working switches and levers throughout the cockpit, removable chocks, ropes, covers, and you are able to easily move from station to station within the aircraft, complete with animations where appropriate, to move things out of the way as you walk around. The price is just $29.95. More information on the Shade Tree Micro Aviation Beechcraft AT-11 can be found in the show notes below. So that's it for this week's show. Thank you so much for watching. If I did miss something critical, do leave me a note in the comment section below. I'll take a look, see if it's worth including in the next week's show. Until then, though, my name is Frugal. Thank you so very, very, very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.